Hold tight, everybody. Okay, there it is. I see the beautiful screen.
Hello and welcome for real this time.
Hey guys, what's up? You sound good, Bix. You're a little bit lower than me, like maybe a half step, but you're audible this time.
That's good, because we're still using the settings from last time.
And you never know. Sometimes those can just be different for no reason.
It's true.
I might bump you up a little bit, to be honest.
I can do that.
Yeah, and not like you're not super quiet, but just a little bit.
Let's see what I'm working with here.
In the meantime, while you do that, I'll go ahead and fill the chat in on something that I missed last time, which is we have another Buffyverse actor in Fallout New Vegas this time.
Oh yeah?
One Mr. Joshua Graham.
I had a feeling you would say that.
Yeah, he's Holtz, the time-traveling angry old man vampire hunter. He's been in quite a few things. Not so much anymore. It was more like he had a lot of heavy work in the 90s and early 2000s, but not so much these days.
Off.
Yeah, I mean, he's still in things on occasion, but
okay,
you know.
I just adjusted my volume. Tell me how it sounds.
Let me jump back in here.
How does this sound? This is about normal volume for me, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that we're even.
Good, good. Need to invest in a new setup, but those things cost money. Shocker.
They do cost money. It took me forever to be able to afford something like that. And guess what? After I afforded something like that, I couldn't afford something like anything else. For a while. Still, even.
It's an investment.
When you showed me that Dragon's Dogma was $10, I spent that $10 and I like winced because $10 now means something.
Yeah, I know how you feel. I spent $20 on Hades and $20 on RoboQuest. And I love both of those games, but that's now $40 that I don't have.
You know, you say there's a game called RoboQuest, and what I hear is there's a game called Robotech, and I'm like, wait, they made a video game based off of Robotech? And if I'm not wrong, I think they actually did make some.
You might be right.
Did you ever watch Robotech?
No.
It was an anime adapted from several anime. Like, they took multiple different anime series and then just sort of mashed them together and created their own story in the English dub.
So it's kind of like Ghost Stories in that way?
A little bit. Only instead of Ghost Stories being like a great gag dub, Robotech is like a space opera with drama and such. And it's also really good. Role-playing games. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like Robotech did have some tabletop games. Had some toys. Had here are some video games. It had one for the N64. Oh, canceled for the N64. It had one for the Xbox, PS2, and GameCube. It had another one for the Game Boy Advance. It had another one for the PlayStation 2 and Xbox. And the last one was Robotech, the new generation for mobile phones.
Like the shadow of a ghost.
That's actually way more than I expected.
I have successfully disarmed the tripwire, which was attached to this shotgun.
Good work.
so I have to worry slightly less about being shot.
I mean, slightly less. Oh no. What could it have been?
That could still happen, though.
Oh, I see. You'll have to excuse my delayed reaction.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They should know how it is by now.
Sometimes people don't know how it is, but we can teach them how it be.
Sometimes people think they don't think it be like it is. But it do.
It do indeed do.
God damn it. I think
Get hit again?
I think I'm gonna need to tread carefully here.
Come on, Clancy. You gotta be better at your footsies.
Gotta improve your footwork.
How about that 3080 that came out, huh? Did you see that? Did you see that GTX 3080?
No.
It's really, really stupidly big. It also went, So if I were to tell you that a new graphics card came out, what do you think happens with the retailers, like, immediately?
They get sold out?
Yes, and guess who buys them?
Be doing some actual scouting, not just following.
Nothing but scalpers, baby.
Yep. Remember when cryptocurrency mining was the big thing?
I do, and it sucked.
And how it destroyed... Actually, I guess... Oh, come on!
Yeah, we still have issues with the market on those video cards because of that.
But I guess for the people in the industry, it's as good as it ever was.
Yeah. And for people on the gray market, it's even better than it ever was.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'm just running down some news stories here, I guess you would call them. But we also have Cyberpunk came out with its official PC specs, and they also said...
tell me that. What are the system requirements? That I actually want to hear.
Okay, let me open this up for you. According to Cyberpunk and their Twitter account, your minimum system requirements are 64-bit Windows 7 or 64-bit Windows 10. So that's good for you.
That is good for me. I was genuinely worried about that.
DirectX 12, processor, an i5 or an i5 3570K or AMD FX 8310. So we should be both fine there. 8 gigs for memory, NVIDIA GTX 780 or AMD RX 470, which we should also be good there. And 70 gigs for storage with a recommended solid-state drive. Recommended system requirements, on the other hand, 64-bit Windows 10, DirectX 12, Intel Core i7 4790 or Ryzen 3 3200G, 12 gigs for memory, graphics card GTX 1060 or Radeon R9, and 70 gigabyte SSD storage.
That doesn't sound too bad.
No, it's not. It's not crazy. I have a feeling that I mean, our processors can handle that, which is a nice thing to be able to say now.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cody. And our graphics card can also handle it. I wonder how much that operating system is going to affect you, though. Probably not. I would think not.
Well, what does it say under recommended as opposed to minimum?
So minimum says Windows 7 or Windows 10. Recommended just says Windows 10.
So there might be an effect there.
There might be.
But as long as I'm not, like, losing out on features, I don't think I'll mind so much.
Mm-mm. That makes me wonder if there's gonna be, like, some kind of online component that doesn't play nicely with an old OS or something. The only thing that you would really...
to what I've been told, the online component is coming later, separately.
Bet they don't
Yeah.
have anything as nasty as Yao Guai out where you come from, huh?
In addition, I don't know if you saw, but PlayStation 5 held their event, and prices came out, which is nice, along with a bunch of new games, which most of those games looked real nice.
Neat.
Some of them I don't care too much about. Like, their big end of show thing was like, yo, God of War 2, and I'm like, okay, well, that was a cool movie to watch, I guess. The other thing that I saw about Cyberpunk 2077 that makes me think is they said that their main story is going to be shorter than The Witcher 3's because most people didn't finish Witcher 3's story.
Yeah, Witcher 3 was a fucking long game. I can't even blame them for that.
I can't blame them for it, but I liked that about The Witcher story. I liked how long that story was, you know? But I mean, as long as it's concise and meant to be shorter, then it's fine. I got no problems about that.
As long as it says what it has to say, then that's all well and good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting. PS4 owners will get a free upgrade of Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered on PS5.
Neat.
That's nice. J.K. Rowling is not directly involved in the creation of the game. This is not a new story from J.K. Rowling, says Hogwarts Legacy's official FAQ page. Good.
I like
can't
that's
believe-
a good thing. That's funny to me.
It's really funny that has to be said. For reasons that we will probably not go into today. Man, she has made it real hard to enjoy Harry Potter for the last couple of months? Maybe a year now?
At least a year, I would say. It's been a time.
But it's gone from, like, saying stupid things that don't need to be said to saying, like, actively harmful things that really don't need to be said.
Yeah.
And you're like, come on! Come on! I thought you were cool! You made this cool thing! And she's like, no. Turns out I'm old and crazy and not good. There's a Humble Bundle right now called You Can Pet the Dog Humble Bundle,
Yeah.
including such games as The Blair Witch and Shenmue 1 and 2. That's pretty good. I don't think that I've actually checked out, I don't think I've actually checked out Humble Bundle in a long while. Let's maybe see what they've got going on. There's a whole giant list here. Oh, wow. Watch Dogs 2 is currently free on Epic, which... I already own it, so that's fine.
But hey, it's a good game, so get it.
Like the shadow.
Everybody should go get that game. Everybody should go get that game while they don't have to pay any money to Ubisoft. Because Ubisoft, as it turns out, also evil. Who would have guessed?
Mm-hmm. But the catch is that you have to put up with epic shit instead. But at least
Life
it's free.
This is true. Life is Strange 2, Episode 1, is also free on Steam. I don't know how I feel about that. Man, you know, because I've talked quite a bit about that game, how much I love the first one. Second one is a strange mixed bag that I still don't know how I feel. I don't think I've ever had a stronger reaction to a character that's like meant to be good and endearing, and I look at them and I'm like, that's a supervillain. That's a supervillain, right? Where is the option to set this character on fire and leave?
You have to mod it in. The only way.
Oh my god, I would love to see mods for those games. Like Life is Strange episode 2.5, the boys meet Spider-Man. Spider-Man just shows up.
Today, Skooks meets Mega Man.
I would be very down for Skooks meets Mega Man.
That was episode 5, didn't you see it?
I did see it. I saw it, and then I burned it to my hard drive, and then I burned it on my skin. So now every time I close my eyes on the inside of my eyelids, I see Skooks meets Mega Man.
Good.
When Zion was friendly enough, folks could make camp wherever they pleased.
Got a bunch of modding.
Got some people who need to die.
Oh no, who would have guessed? Take them out. Put the boots to them.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry, but just seeing that dude, like, stand fully at attention with his arms not moving as you knock his head off was really funny to me.
It was really funny to me, too.
Epic and Riot Games' 10-cent dealings draw U.S. government scrutiny. That's a headline. What's going on here? What's all this about? What's all this then?
Look sharp. Lots of giant ants around here.
Ah, okay.
Really know
It
what that means.
looks like it is a privacy thing.
Oh, big surprise.
National security issues for the reason behind its attempted ban and forced sale of TikTok. Similar reasons could be cited here to prevent additional investments from Tencent or force a sale of key tech companies such as Epic. To note, some of the key US games / tech companies that Tencent has a minority / majority stake in include Riot, Epic, Activision, Roblox, Glue Mobile, Discord, Reddit, and Snap. Yep. That could be interesting. Let's discuss that, Bix.
Yeah.
What could happen if, say, Discord were to be banned in the US, like straight up in the US?
It would pose some problems for us and many other people, primarily.
What would we even do?
Use Steam. No, the channel would probably just shut down.
You heard it here, folks. That we would rather shut down than use Steam Chat. Straight from the horse's mouth. Straight from the mouth of one of two horses. The other horse just stares and tries not to laugh. You ever seen a laughing horse? Well, you're about to.
I've seen a dead horse. There's one right behind me. How you doing, dude?
So I finally get to explore.
I thought you were gonna make some sort of quip about beating a dead horse. And I'm glad that you didn't.
Hey, it's not too late.
Wait,
It's never too late to beat that dead horse. PS5 pre-orders might not arrive on time, Amazon warns. Yeah, well, probably not. Oh yeah, PS5 also pretty much had the same issue with its pre-orders with scalpers and everything.
Yeah.
Whoa! Here we go!
Man, I do not have the $500 that it takes to buy that PS5. I don't have the $400 it takes to buy the bad PS5. I really want that Harry Potter game, though, and I super hope that it comes to PC. And I really want to play that Pro Skater 1 and 2. That game just looks like so much fun.
So
Mostly because...
I'm given to understand that Pro Skater game is full price, right?
No, it's $40.
And you get Pro Skater 1 and 2 for $40?
Yes.
That's not a bad deal, in theory.
No, it's not a bad deal. It's not on Steam right now, which
that we know.
I'll wait a year and see. I'll wait a year and see. It is on PlayStation 4, which I have, but can never really work with for a multitude of reasons. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good deal for what you get. The game is, I would say, not short, but not long either. I mean, if you know what you're doing in a Tony Hawk game, you could beat those two games in probably 10 hours. If you... I mean, you could probably do it in less. If you were... You know, those games are notorious for speed running and getting the perfect run down, right?
Yeah.
If you knew what...
Where did you come from?
Hey, man. Blame my parents. Beautiful beatdown.
Yeah. You know it.
Oh, and we have a Fight Club reference. That's interesting. It's the Destroy Something Beautiful achievement.
Oh,
which
did an
reminds
achievement
me...
Pop up?
Yes, and we should also probably mention that achievement that we got last time. Do you recall what that was?
I can remember the icon, but not the name, but that's not helpful. Where the fuck did he go? He was right here a second ago.
You know what? I think I can probably solve this, right? It would be in your Steam activity.
Yeah.
I remember you saying that, like, the notable thing about it was that almost nobody had it.
Mm-hmm. Less than 10% of people had it.
Oh god, I didn't open up Steam. Now I gotta wait for Steam to... You ever notice how Steam takes forever to load when you first click on the icon?
Yep. Yeah.
It didn't used to do that. It didn't used to do that.
But then they converted everything to HTML5 and it all turned horrible.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah.
You remember when Steam was green?
I do remember when Steam was green.
I remember when Steam was green. Pour one out for green Steam. Alright. Oh, look at that. Mr. Bix is in fact playing Fallout New Vegas. I never would have guessed.
Oh. Who knew?
Not I. Not I. Okay, we got... Oh, wait. Nope. Those are incorrect. Recent activity. Here we go. Ah. That must be it. Sort by... Unlocked. Oh god, they're all out of order. Okay.
Oh no.
Unlocked September.
I wish I still had some Nuka-Cola on me. This is... Need food.
Bix needs food badly.
Badly.
Old Time Brawler caused 10,000 damage with unarmed weapons.
That's it. I knew it was old time something.
Old Time Brawler. I wish that these were listed in order of, like, when you got them. Because they're very much not.
I wish that they were too. Well, I guess Follows Chalk is just gone. That's okay.
Well, maybe you'd be able to find him if you knew where the chalk went. Keep an eye out for the chalk, and you're bound to run into Follows Chalk.
But what I want to know is where's the caveman?
What I want to know is where's the chalk? I'm caught in this this interesting push and pull between I don't know whether I would love or hate Pillars of Eternity. On one hand, those games seem like they're kind of made for me. On the other hand, they're isometric, and I still have an aversion to isometric.
The only time I'll tolerate an isometric game is if it's like a beat-em-up or a twin-stick shooter. If it's anything less than that, I can't deal with it.
Isometric is just... I don't know. I know why it's there. Hades is a good example of an isometric game that I wish wasn't one. If Hades had the budget to be like... This sounds so reductive, and I'm sorry for saying it this way, but if it had the budget to be like a proper action game, I would be way more interested. Does that make sense?
I know what you mean, and that's kind of a weird thought to me. Because Supergiant is like... I'm not sure how to put this. They're not like a budding studio. They've been around for a while. And I think if they wanted to make a quote-unquote proper game, I'm sure they could.
And again, proper game is totally the wrong way to say it, but if that game was...
Like a full-budget game.
Like a third-person over-the-shoulder, or not over-the-shoulder, but like a third-person DMC-style action game, and everything else about the game was totally the exact same. It had the same story, had the same character designs, even had the same art style, I would be more interested. That's not to say that I'm not interested in it at all, but I'm probably never gonna play Hades. Just because I have trouble connecting to, I guess, that. I have trouble connecting viscerally with what's going on in that particular view. View is the wrong word. Perspective.
It's always kind of a weird problem I have with these games, is like, obviously they'll do an isometric thing so that they can pull the camera out, so it's not so obvious how bad the assets look when viewed from up close, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of those games, like Beacon comes to mind, that game would look great if you were, like, right there. The assets look fine. The art style totally holds it together.
I mean, a lot of it has to do with, like... Okay, so... I feel like a lot of the argument comes down to, well, look at the shot composition, look at how this is all framed, and I look at it and I'm like, it's kinda not. Like, the shot composition and the way that it's framed just makes me think that it's like a blueprint overlook. It doesn't make me think, oh, look how gorgeous this thing is. It makes me think, man, I wish I could explore this world with a freely rotating camera.
And you sound like an ass. Even I think you sound like an ass, but also I totally agree with you.
Even I think I sound like an ass, because I do, but I agree with myself. Because it's like... I understand why. And to some extent, I'm kind of, it's kind of a weird, hypocritical place to be in, where I'm like, hey, some of my favorite games ever are top-down, old-style RPGs, like Pokemon or Final Fantasy. And that's almost the same thing, it's just top-down instead of, like, shifting to the right or left.
Not to mention that the battle doesn't take place in those perspectives ever. So it's not really a fair comparison either way.
Although the battles in older Final Fantasies are almost the same. Almost. Like, the perspective shifts, but to a side-scrolling, still top-down kind of look.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's such a surface-level complaint to have, and I don't know why the complaint bothers me so much. But it really, really does.
Oh no,
I mean,
I've
some
been
people...
seen by this little scorpion. Oh, it's dead.
Good work.
It did it.
Some people have this same kind of issue with, you know, first-person or third-person exclusive games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people just can't deal with first-person, and some people can't deal with anything that's not first-person.
For me, a large portion of it comes down to how the game plays.
Yeah.
If it's a shooter, I'll usually want it to be in first person. If it's a brawler, I'll usually want it to be in third person.
And aesthetics are important to me. I almost always want to see my character. Even in these games, even in, like, Bethesda-style RPGs where it's like, immerse yourself in the world. I'm like, okay, I can do that, but I would prefer to see my character as well. Character design is important to me. And also, first-person combat is usually handled really badly if it's not gunplay, and I typically don't enjoy gunplay in games, really. And that's weird, too.
I know this about you.
It's a weird take to have, but I've said it before, I prefer melee-based combat and brawlers and swords and things like that. And the moment that you have to pull the trigger in a game, I get like 30% less interested in it. And a lot of that for me comes down to, I guess, just having played so many shooters and so many types of games where the gunplay is just all there is. And it's like, it all feels a bit too similar. I crave new experiences in games. And, hey, guess what? When you make a Bethesda-style RPG in particular, you're not getting a new experience.
It's true.
The only new experience you're getting out of these games is, like, A, the story and what's being told to you, and B, the landmass that you're exploring. I love these. I love these titles that I'm seeing these headlines for. Antebellum is 2020's worst movie and an aggravating waste of Janelle Monáe. I'm not gonna click that because I don't have any stake in that, but I really like how aggressive that headline is. What You Need to Know About Dune Now That You Need to Know About Dune is also a really good one.
That is a pretty good one. I'm partial to that.
I should go back and watch that Dune David Lynch movie.
Dune Eternal.
Dune Eternal would be amazing. Dune Eternal would be better than Doom Eternal.
Probably.
Who would you get to? Who would you get for the music in that?
I don't know enough about Dune to be able to say.
All you need to know about Dune is science fiction, giant sand crawlers, and a very weird story. Like, think like paperback science fiction. That's the vibe that you're going for.
Yeah. Oh, check out all these dead kids. There's a lot of them.
Oh no. I didn't sign up for this.
There's a lot of them.
I didn't sign up for this.
There's so many dead kids, and not even like one lunchbox full of trail mix. This is bullshit. Of the highest degree.
Where did the trail mix go? Bix, where did the trail mix go?
That's what I want to know.
This is all I care about.
Mix?
Where is the trail mix?
Well, that's that then.
Did you see the Nintendo 3DS is discontinued now?
That took a while.
It took 10 years. I'm glad that I bought one like last year to play all the Pokemon games.
I mean, it's been going on for so long that, like, even after it's been discontinued, I can't imagine it being very hard to get your hands on one.
No, they'll
go up in price for sure.
Yes.
Oh,
I want to say it. I got mine for like $150, or was it $80? I don't remember. It was either $150 or it was $80. I can't tell you which.
Someone's gonna have to explain that one to me.
That's what happens when you don't watch your footwork. Spider-Man Miles Morales is coming to PS4 as well, which we already knew about that.
Yeah, we just talked about that, didn't we?
No, not exactly.
We talked about Spider-Man. That's all my brain registered. Spider-Man, yes. Very yes.
Spider-Man is very yes. Man, that Spider-Man game is super good. I really hope that the next Spider-Man game is also really good. People seem to not know whether or not Final Fantasy 16. Oh, damn, you're dead again.
Fuck.
People seem to be unsure as to whether or not Final Fantasy is coming to PC as well.
Yeah, probably because they haven't announced whether it is or not yet.
Well, what if I told you that they did announce it, but they announced both that it was and was not?
Now
And that
I'm unsure too.
Sony itself seems confused. What else we got? What else we got? So there was some talk going back and forth about Super Mario 35.
Yeah?
And there was some talk going back and forth about a poster who was saying, hey, the collection is so broken that if you like put it into sleep mode without properly getting out of the game, that it like bricks your console or whatever. That turned out to be incorrect. Just a public knowledge, public service announcement. That turned out to not be true. And that was just one of those cases of people lying on the internet.
Talking out of their fucking ass.
To get people not to buy the thing that they're up in arms about. Nintendo fans, man.
Yep.
Fans of anything, man.
Fucking people. I hate them.
It's one of those things that, like, I don't know, especially with somebody. All right, I have some takes that people would consider to be hot. I have many opinions that are unpopular and possibly bad.
Well, that's subjective.
It's subjective, but like I have opinions. Let's say.
How dare you?
How dare I? And I have opinions that I know full well will not make most people, if anybody but me, happy. And yet, I take a look at things like that, and I take a look at doing things like streaming or putting out anything having to do with games at all, and I'm like, man, games are such a weird topic, because it makes me almost not want to create anything, because no matter what you do, you're releasing to a completely unreasonable audience.
Mm-hmm. And hey, you know me. You know that this is a position that I held for a very long time.
I do.
And it's a position that caused me no small amount of trouble in my life. Again, as you know.
Oh, I know. And yeah, as a performer, it's, and I'm not talking about Twitch as as somebody who performs for money in life. The idea of making your customers and making your audience happy is really, really important to me. And when I think about, like, oh man, what would make me happy in this thing that I'm creating? What would make this song sell well? What would make this performance reach a lot of people? A lot of the time, the thing that I come back with is like, I don't think if I were to make what I wanted to make, that it would have like a mainstream kind of popularity to it. The kind of thing that would resonate with me would probably make people upset. And then you think, well, no. The real answer is that you make what you want to make. You make something for you. And people will like it.
The acclaim will follow.
Maybe not everyone will like it. Maybe few people will like it. But if you're making it for you, statistically speaking, there's going to be an audience for it. There are too many people in the world with too many opinions to be bogged down, and for you to never find anybody who likes what you make.
It's true.
Bet they don't have anything as nasty as Yao Guai out where you come.
And that's a pitfall to fall into, is like, I feel like everybody should strive to make something that makes them happy. Because the reality of the situation is, no matter what you make, somebody's gonna like it and somebody's gonna really not like it. Especially now.
Especially now.
When there is no filter and everybody has to have an opinion about everything.
There is no filter except for the great filter, which we haven't reached yet. Still waiting.
No. Still waiting for that singularity. The robots do their robot thing.
Well, it all depends on which one comes first. My money's on the great filter.
My money's on the witch. My money is on nothing because I don't bet. I never bet. You want to bet?
And Clancy's money is on himself, always.
I mean, aside from occasionally dying to like a stray mountain lion or jumping off of a bridge, he seems to be doing pretty okay for himself.
He can take a Yao Guai just fine when the level geometry isn't conspiring against him.
Yeah, you can punch a bear.
Totally. And to those of you who's saying I can't, I just did. What are you gonna do about it?